Okay, hey guys, this is a sloppy video. Full moon is happening before the end of May. I don't know when, but it's currently May 21st, almost May 22nd, because I'm filming this at 11 p.m. I'm running out of time, and I wanted to make this video before the full moon episode, because these are my thoughts, but they might change afterwards. So these are my current thoughts on Stolas and Blitz. And this is really low, like, production quality. Pretend that we're, like, at a sleepover, and I'm, like, telling you about a ship that I like. That's basically what I'm doing. Anyways, so I wanted to kind of talk about Stolitz and their attachment styles, because I kind of think that they're pretty important to their whole relationship and dynamic. Okay, so first, we're going to address the 4 different love attachment styles. So one is secure, and that's going to be you're honest, vulnerable, high emotional intelligence, and you're good at communicating. Now, the other 3 are considered insecure. So you have anxious, which is basically going to be insecure, clingy, typically due to growing up with little guidance. You never had a strong support system, and you need to feel needed. Next, you have avoidant. This is going to be insecure, but it's independent. These people like avoid intimacy. They tend to push others away. Can control can shut their emotions down when afraid and pretend not to care. They typically have few close relationships, and then we have fearful / anxious avoidant. This is an insecure mixed type, and this has both anxious and avoidant traits. Okay, I also kind of wanted to talk about parenting styles and how different parenting styles can lead to different attachment styles later on in romantic relationships. This isn't always the case, but I do think it is the case with both Stolas and Blitz, so I kind of wanted to talk about that. So typically, people with secure attachment is a result of authoritative parenting. That's like your middle ground, not too strict, not too negligent, good communication, all that stuff. Anxious attachment can be a result of neglectful parenting, and we definitely see this in Season 2, Episode 1, with the way that Payman treats Stolas. He doesn't want to be involved in his son's life all that much. And then we can see avoidant attachment sometimes as a result of authoritarian parenting. This is like super strict, I own you kind of parenting. We see that with Cash. He uses Blitz as a way to make money. Basically, he views his son as an object, and he's incredibly controlling. So with the neglectful parenting thing, all they want is to feel loved and like held, but they don't have that. So it ends up leading to this like clingy level of attachment. But with avoidant attachment, sometimes our parents are super strict, and we need to prove that we are strong, which can lead to avoidant attachment, which one of the characteristics of that is like hyper independence. Okay, here's my theory. I think that Blitz has avoidant attachment. Looking back, if Fizz really was Blitz's first love, by attempting to express his emotions, he hurts the people he cared about. We're talking about Fizz's birthday with the fire. If Blitz truly was trying to confess, and that resulted in Fizz being blown up, that would probably lead him to be pretty uncomfortable expressing his emotions due to associating them with bad things. The episode where they go to Ozzy's, Blitz tries to be tough when he's in the car, but as soon as he gets home, he basically breaks down and cries on his couch. I think that kind of goes with the like pushing people away, attempting to control your emotions, but only being able to put on a front, I guess. He also avoids vulnerability. When Blitz talks to Stryker, he explains that him and Stolas are not in a relationship. It's merely a transactional fucking, because he doesn't want to admit that he cares about somebody. Same thing with Fizz. He also, when he's sitting in the cage with Fizz after they've been kidnapped by Stryker, and he's talking about how Stolas will laugh at his jokes and text him, and he's talking about how Stolas doesn't really care about him and he just wants him as a hookup, when it's obvious that it's not just a hookup to Stolas. And also, he is very clearly jealous of Moxie and Millie's marriage. And we definitely see this in the episode where they go to Ozzy's. He's literally following them around. He wants what they have, but he can't. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Blitz's bad trip, which is Blitz's part of Moxie's bad trip. I know technically the first paragraph that I used was from Moxie's bad trip, but I think it applies here too. He's talking about Moxie's accusing Blitz of pushing his friends away. Why does it seem like a recurring thing you alienate with your toxic routine? I don't know, eventually everyone goes because you're thoughtless and cruel and you'll end up alone. That's pretty on the nose, honestly. Blitz pushes people away because he's afraid of them pushing him away first, basically. And then this is part of Blitz's verse in Moxie's bad trip. He's talking about being able to do things alone, but he doesn't want to do things alone. He doesn't want to be alone. This paragraph basically sums up: you still shove away anyone who gets too close. Your subconscious is trying to tell you you simply cannot fathom proper intimacy, but also crave it as well. Blitz wants to have these relationships with people, but he doesn't know how. So he ends up hurting everybody and pushing them away, which is very common in people with avoidant attachment styles. Okay, I also believe that Stolas has anxious attachment. Typically, people with anxious attachments can have a history of abusive relationships, and we see this with Stella. Not only because of their attachment types, but also usually, if we're gonna look at parenting styles, people tend to find partners that treat them the way that their parents treated them because the familiarity of it. So it could also be that. And you will be okay. It says, and if the 7 hells collapse, although the day will be my last, you will be okay. When I'm gone, you'll be okay. This kind of sounds like, to me at least, somebody with a history of anxiety issues trying to calm somebody down, which is how I took it. Stolas is attempting to make his daughter feel secure and safe despite the unfortunate circumstances. I feel like Stolas is treating his daughter like how he wished he would have been treated, personally. That's how I saw that song anyways. And then we have Out in a Cage, which says, then you walked in my room and like sparks in the dark, life was suddenly thrilling and new. What's between you and I, just a comfortable lie. I'm the fool who believes when you look in my eyes. So Out in a Cage shows how Stolas romanticizes the ideas, the idea of a relationship with Blitz, despite not believing just a comfortable lie. He doesn't believe that Blitz loves him. He likes the idea of it. And it also kind of highlights how alone Stolas feels when Blitz isn't around. And then Look My Way might as well be an anthem for anxious attachment. Holy shit. So I only picked a couple specific scenes, but you honestly could I only picked a couple specific lines, but you could probably break that whole song down. I can give you everything you need, or do you want to hear me plead? He's literally bargaining for Blitz to care about him. This is he's begging Blitz to look his way. and I'm terrified as I cry to make these feelings true. What's left for me and my broken heart if I cannot have you? Dog is clingy as hell. He's also so anxious. It's crazy. He is very insecure. A very insecure bird. And then I also thought that this line was interesting. It's not enough to get through the walls you've conjured up to live. He's talking about Blitz, which I kind of thought was interesting because it kind of like compares and contrasts what it's like to be an avoidant attachment person dating an anxious attachment person. Stolas is like desperately begging for Blitz to let his walls down, but Blitz is like, no, these walls are to keep me safe. So he needs them. But Stolas needs Blitz to take those down. So there's like a little bit of conflict there. Anyways, I was thinking about this because I was thinking about new moon or full moon. I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope they figure their shit out. I really do. But I don't know. Because man, these dudes have a lot of baggage, both of them. But I hope they can figure it out. So yeah, that was my thoughts. Also, it is worth noting that your attachment style is not set in stone. You can change your attachment style. It takes a lot of work, but you can change it. I just think that these attachment styles reflect the current state of their relationship. But in the future, it could change. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.